It was really a beautiful experience because, that's the tradition. The next president is supposed to invite you back to hang them.
Long before the White House and the glare of the global spotlight, Michelle Obama's personal sanctuary was a sprawling 6,400 square foot home in Kenwood, nestled under the protective canopy of Chicago's mature trees. Featuring intricately carved fireplaces, luminous stained glass windows, and timeless architecture, the home embodies the quiet sophistication of a neighborhood steeped in profound history and enduring legacy. Today, we are exploring the details of her home, her financial assets, and the private existence she so carefully shields from the public eye. To truly understand her, however, we must first revisit the origins of her incredible journey. She was born Michelle LaVaughn Robinson on January 17, 1964. Her childhood unfolded on Chicago's South Shore within a modest apartment, where a foundation of love, discipline, and education profoundly shaped her early perspective on the world. Her father, Fraser Robinson, courageously battled multiple scleroses during her formative years, and watching his unwavering resilience day after day left an unforgettable impression upon her own character. Fueled by a powerful drive to establish stability for herself and her loved ones, Michelle immersed herself completely in her academic pursuits. By 1981, her efforts culminated in her graduation from Whitney Young High School as salutatorian, the first real sign of the intellectual force she was destined to become. At Princeton University, she focused on sociology with a minor in African American Studies, graduating with honors in 1985 and preparing herself for a life that would ultimately serve as an inspiration to millions. Beyond her coursework, Michelle truly found her voice at the Third World Center, which served as a cultural and academic sanctuary for supporting minority students. It was in that very space that she started to hone the distinct leadership philosophy that would later become a cornerstone of her public identity. From there, she went to Harvard Law School, where she earned her degree in 1988 and dedicated time to the Harvard legal office assisting low-income tenants as they navigated complicated housing disputes. Personal tragedy struck early in her professional life. In 1991, both her father and a very close friend passed away. Michelle has openly stated these immense losses compelled her to re-examine the true meaning of purpose and contribution, a realization that ultimately steered her away from corporate law and toward a future in public service. Yet just before that monumental shift, destiny intervened. At the prestigious Chicago law firm of Sidley Austin, she was tasked with mentoring a promising young summer associate named Barack Obama. They were married on October 3, 1992, embarking on a partnership that was destined to fundamentally alter the course of American history. Over the course of the 1990s, Michelle's career progressed with impressive speed. She held positions as an assistant to Mayor Richard Daley and subsequently as an assistant commissioner for the City of Chicago's Planning and Development Department, systematically gathering the experience and keen perspective that would eventually catapult her onto the national stage. In 1993, Michelle assumed the role of Executive Director for the Chicago chapter of Public Allies, an organization where she guided young people in developing the leadership abilities needed for impactful careers in the public sector. By 1996, she had transitioned to the University of Chicago as its Associate Dean of Student Services, where she established the university's inaugural community service program, a landmark accomplishment that was a clear reflection of her profound belief in civic duty and giving back to the community. Her influence and responsibilities only expanded from there. In 2002, Michelle accepted the role of Executive Director of Community and External Relations for the University of Chicago Hospital, eventually being promoted to Vice President in 2005, a position accompanied by a salary of $317,000. Even as Barack's political career ascended from Illinois State Senator in 1996 to United States Senator in 2004, the Obamas deliberately chose to keep their roots in Chicago, prioritizing a stable and consistent environment for their daughters, Malia and Sasha. Michelle maintained her professional career on a part-time basis until the final weeks before Barack's presidential inauguration in 2009, skillfully balancing a high-powered career with her family, obligations, and public duties. As First Lady from 2009 to 2017, Michelle Obama completely redefined the role, making it contemporary, influential, and intensely personal. While she was initially reluctant to embrace campaigning, she very quickly became a formidable advocate, speaking with remarkable candor about race, education, motherhood, and the complex everyday challenges of American family life. Throughout her tenure, she introduced 4 significant initiatives: Let's Move, aimed at combating childhood obesity; Reach Higher, which supported students in their pursuit of higher education; Let Girls Learn, a program to empower young women around the world; and Joining Forces, which focused on supporting military families. She consistently advocated for work-life balance, pushed for more nutritious school lunches, and stood up for LGBTQ+ rights, powerfully leveraging her platform to enact meaningful change across the entire spectrum of American society. Even after leaving the White House, Michelle's influence on public life remained profound. In 2018, she released Becoming, which rapidly became one of the most successful memoirs ever written, followed by The Light We Carry in 2022. Her commitment to civic engagement was evident as she championed voting rights during the 2021 Georgia Senate election and attended Joe Biden's inauguration, wearing Sergio Hudson's now famous Plum Ensemble. She was also inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame within the same year. Her sphere of influence consistently continues to broaden. In 2023, she thrilled fans with an unexpected appearance joining Bruce Springsteen on stage in Barcelona. Then, in 2024, she delivered an incredibly compelling speech at the Democratic National Convention. It was an address many considered to have even surpassed her husband's most iconic moments in the public eye. After their extensive years of public service and heightened political visibility, the Obamas opted for stability over spectacle, settling into a home that mirrored their values, history, and profound connection to Chicago's South Side. The Kenwood residence acquired for $1.6 million. They secured a classic, elegant mansion in Kenwood, which is celebrated as one of Chicago's most historic and treasured neighborhoods. The home is situated on a majestic tree-lined street where centuries-old oaks create a canopy overhead, and grand estates seem to echo with stories from past decades. Encompassing 6,400 square feet with 6 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, the property is a quintessential 2.5-story American mansion. It was constructed not simply for a family, but to embody a legacy. The foyer opens into an area that is simply steeped in history. There are hand-carved fireplaces, meticulously crafted by a German artisan who had immigrated to Chicago during the era of the World's Fair, stunning stained glass windows that radiate with the afternoon light, and an array of intricate architectural details that lend the home the feeling of a living museum of Chicago's heritage more than a mere private dwelling. This is certainly not a modern mansion defined by cold, impersonal extravagance. It is in fact a vibrant piece of living art. The completely updated kitchen flawlessly integrates modern convenience with timeless traditional charm. A custom-crafted island anchors the room, which is surrounded by elegant marble floors and high-end professional-grade appliances, alongside a pantry substantial enough to support large family gatherings, holiday meals, and the constant flow of visitors that is a natural consequence when your family name is Obama. It is a space that masterfully balances practicality with elegance, a setting where everyday existence meets quiet sophistication. The master suite thoughtfully extends this motif of refined comfort and style. Walk-in closets adorned with quartz countertops evoke a boutique-like ambiance, while the master bathroom delivers a level of spa-like tranquility. Every single detail feels intentional, meticulously designed for a family that truly comprehends the equilibrium between privacy, comfort, and tasteful, understated luxury. And then one must consider the third floor. In a previous era, this space served as a grand ballroom, a testament to the home's rich past and its remarkable ability to adapt to the lives of those who reside within it. Today, that once grand third-floor ballroom is utilized for a much gentler purpose, acting as a serene retreat that is perfect for reading, quiet reflection, or for simply finding respite from the noise of the outside world. Its evolution beautifully reflects the Obama's own lifestyle, with one foot firmly grounded in history and the other planted squarely in the present. The family resided in this Kenwood home until their landmark move to the White House in 2009, and quite remarkably, they have retained ownership of the property to this day. It remains the physical anchor of their Chicago narrative, a tangible monument to where their incredible journey commenced, and a symbol of the core values that shaped their rise. If the Kenwood property represents the Obama family's deep roots, then their Martha's Vineyard estate chronicles a subsequent chapter. It is a story characterized by reflection, personal renewal, and the experience of life after the presidency, all located in their Martha's Vineyard mansion. In 2019, the Obamas finalized the purchase of a sprawling $11.75 million retreat, a coastal property that feels far less like a simple vacation house and much more like their own exclusive and private world. Situated on 29 acres of lush, verdant waterfront land, the 7,000-square-foot main house masterfully fuses New England serenity with understated presidential luxury. Previously owned by Wyc Grousbeck, the proprietor of the Boston Celtics, the estate imparts a feeling of grandeur from the instant you step inside. The living room, both expansive and architecturally stunning, soars beneath a vaulted ceiling that is supported by exposed structural steel beams. At its core, a magnificent stone fireplace rises dramatically, transforming even the calmest evening into something that feels almost cinematic. It's a space that seamlessly accommodates private family moments while simultaneously retaining the polish necessary for hosting global leaders. The estate's accommodations, however, do not conclude with the main house. It also includes two separate guest houses, every one meticulously crafted to ensure privacy, making it an ideal retreat for visiting friends or close relatives, or in the case of the Obama family, their adult daughters, Sasha and Malia. There's a small yet endearing feature. The garage accommodates just two vehicles, which strongly suggests the girls have become experts at arranging guest parking on this exclusive presidential estate. It is these personal touches that lend the property a feeling of warmth and humanity, in spite of its magnificent proportions. The master suite serves as a sanctuary on its own, fully equipped with a cozy fireplace, a secluded patio, and breathtaking panoramic views of the water that change with the ebb and flow of the tides. As you venture outdoors, the scenery reveals itself as a picturesque coastal fantasy. A shimmering swimming pool is elegantly bordered by impeccably kept gardens, where soft breezes carry the faint melody of distant waves, and expansive areas are purposefully designed to encourage a slower pace of life. The summer months here are perfectly suited for relaxing by the poolside, meandering along serene walking paths, or discovering the property's most prized feature, its direct access to the Great Pond. Each and every section of the estate embodies a delicate equilibrium between elegance, tranquility, and the functional comforts essential to a family home. It goes without saying that residences of this caliber are accompanied by vehicles that reflect both the lifestyle and the necessary security. Let's examine more closely the automobiles linked to Michelle Obama. If one vehicle could ever personify the immense responsibility and seriousness of the First Lady's position, it would be Cadillac One, commonly referred to as the Beast. Throughout her years in the White House, this was far more than mere transportation. It was essentially a mobile fortress, meticulously engineered to safeguard the President and First Lady in any conceivable situation, featuring armored plating that tips the scales at over 20,000 pounds, doors that are 5 inches thick, specialized run-flat tires, and a hermetically sealed cabin designed to resist chemical attacks. Cadillac One is not so much an automobile as it is a potent symbol of American strength and security. Beyond the confines of the presidential bubble, Michelle's life transitioned back to a more down-to-earth reality, and this is precisely where the Chevrolet Suburban finds its place. Although it serves as a cornerstone of the Secret Service's SUV fleet, it also stands as the quintessential American family vehicle. It is dependable, roomy, and engineered for the demands of real life. Offering 3 rows of seating, almost 145 cubic feet of storage capacity, and state-of-the-art safety systems, it proves ideal for chauffeuring children's staff members or prominent community leaders during one of Michelle's numerous outreach engagements. In this vehicle, security measures and everyday functionality converge flawlessly, mirroring the very life she leads. When away from public scrutiny, Michelle's individual taste is elegantly displayed in the range Rover Sport, an automobile that masterfully balances sophistication with rugged capability. This is a form of luxury that suggests refinement rather than broadcasting it, offering a choice between a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 or a 5-liter supercharged V8 engine, generating up to 518 horsepower. The Range Rover Sport is engineered for polished performance, whether it's effortlessly gliding along urban streets or expertly navigating the scenic coastal roads of Martha's Vineyard. The vehicles in Michelle Obama's life were never chosen simply for appearance. Their purpose was to protect her family, to support her public role, and to convey her through a complex life balanced between civic duty and personal grace. This same equilibrium of elegance and purposefulness permeates every facet of her lifestyle. Her perspective on luxury is notably deliberate, subtle, and consistently linked to a specific function. She does not purchase items to impress others. Instead, she selects things designed to endure. A flawless illustration of this is her Cartier Tank Française timepiece. It is simple and iconic, featuring a stainless steel bracelet, a silver dial, and a sapphire crystal face with a value of approximately $4,000. For some people, this might appear to be extravagant. However, for Michelle, it represents a timeless piece of masterful design and craftsmanship, the type of accessory that remains a part of your collection for decades. Michelle Obama's approach to vacations adheres to the same principle seen in the rest of her life. They are luxurious, yet always purposeful and intensely private. Although she has been known to sail on some of the globe's most magnificent yachts, such excursions are infrequent getaways for a person who spent 8 years under the most intense spotlight on the planet. She has been seen on board Steven Spielberg's Seven Seas, a 357-foot super yacht, with engines producing 4,800 horsepower and accommodations for 14 guests estimated to be worth around $250 million. Additionally, she's been a guest on David Geffen's Rising Sun, a colossal 452-foot vessel that has welcomed legendary figures such as Oprah and Paul McCartney, and is valued at approximately $300 million. These incredible yachts highlight not only immense luxury, but also the sheer scale of the social circles in which the Obamas now navigate. When it comes to work-related travel, Michelle's frequent choice is the Bombardier Challenger 300, a mid-size executive jet that seats 8 passengers and boasts a sleek contemporary interior. It offers the perfect combination of comfort and efficiency required for extended journeys. Securing a charter flight on this aircraft costs roughly $77,000 for each hour of flight time, whereas an outright purchase could set one back as much as $15 million. Even when she travels, Michelle seamlessly merges privacy, practicality, and a touch of elegance, ensuring every trip feels both deliberate and impeccably smooth. And naturally, any conversation about Michelle Obama's travel arrangements would be incomplete without mentioning Air Force One, arguably the most famous airplane on the planet. Throughout Barack Obama's presidency, Michelle flew aboard this Boeing VC-25, a veritable flying White House that boasts 4,000 square feet of interior space distributed across 3 separate levels, with capabilities for mid-air refueling and a nearly unlimited global range. Its operational cost is around $210,000 per hour. It's far more than an aircraft. It stands as a testament to national power and serves as a constant reminder of the incredible weight of responsibility she shouldered. For shorter distances, Michelle frequently utilized the Sikorsky SH-92 Patriot, the presidential helicopter with seating for up to 19 passengers and a top speed of 190 miles per hour. Each one of these helicopters is valued at over $200 million. Powerful, secure, and custom-built for its mission, it is yet another reflection of how principles of safety and functionality fundamentally shape her way of life. So what is the common thread tying all these elements together? Michelle Obama's lifestyle is undoubtedly refined, but it is also consistently intentional. Every residence, vehicle, and method of travel isn't merely an exhibition of wealth. It is all in support of a demanding life of public service, speaking tours, family commitments, and perpetual movement. This brings us to our next chapter, exploring how she manages to balance all of this while staying grounded, maintaining her privacy, and remaining dedicated to her purpose. So, what are the true origins of Michelle Obama's wealth? Including her income and overall net worth, Michelle Obama's considerable financial success was not a product of holding a political position. Rather, it is derived from her powerful voice, her global influence, and her unique capacity to connect with individuals all around the world. At present, Michelle and Barack Obama command a combined estimated net worth of $70 million, a fortune largely amassed in the period after they departed from the White House. Their most significant revenue stream comes from publishing. Back in 2017, the Obamas secured a historic $65 million book agreement with Penguin Random House. Michelle's memoir, Becoming, which was launched in 2018, rapidly evolved into a cultural sensation. The book sold 750,000 copies on its release day alone, and ultimately surpassed 10 million copies sold globally, bringing in tens of millions of dollars in royalty payments by itself. Michelle Obama's follow-up book, The Light We Carry, released in 2022, established another consistent flow of income. With international editions and continuous sales, the revenue from her writing continues to accumulate, demonstrating that her words have truly become one of her most valuable and powerful assets. Public speaking represents another foundational pillar supporting her financial prosperity. Michelle is now one of the most in-demand speakers on the global circuit, earning between $200,000 and $500,000 for a single event. Her keynotes on leadership, education, personal empowerment, and wellness consistently sell out arenas, while her massive stadium-level book tours have generated millions during their most active years. By every measure, she stands as a modern American intellectual and thought leader. Media ventures and content production have also assumed a pivotal role. Alongside Barack, she is the co-founder of Higher Ground Productions, the production company responsible for award-winning documentary films, acclaimed children's programming like Waffles and Mochi, and a variety of other high-profile Netflix projects. Their multi-year production deal with Netflix is reportedly worth over $50 million, greatly expanding her sphere of influence into film narrative storytelling and the worldwide media landscape. Her podcasting initiatives have further cemented her prominent media presence, which includes the Michelle Obama podcast on Spotify, along with major collaborations with Audible. When viewed collectively, her book speaking engagements, production work, and podcasts have transformed her personal influence into a substantial and self-sustaining financial engine. Long before her time in the White House, Michelle had already constructed a very strong professional foundation. She began her career practicing law at the firm Sidley Austin, which is where she and Barack first crossed paths. From there, she transitioned into a series of public service positions throughout Chicago, ultimately rising to become the vice president of community relations and external affairs for the University of Chicago Medical Center, where she earned $317,000 in the year 2005. These earlier salaries were certainly significant, yet they appear quite modest when contrasted with the vast financial landscape she has cultivated in her post-2017 career. Michelle Obama's wealth is not merely financial. It is a fortune constructed from ideas, profound leadership, and immense cultural impact assets that appreciate in value with every book, speech, and project she brings to the world. And underpinning that public influence is a deeply private life defined by her marriage, her experience with motherhood, and the quiet resilience that has always been her defining characteristic, her personal life. Michelle and Barack's relationship took root long before either became a household name. Their paths converged at Chicago's Sadly Austin law firm, where Michelle was appointed to mentor a promising summer associate, Barack Obama. As two of only a handful of African-American lawyers there, their presence was a testament to how uncommon their journeys were at that time. What began as a professional connection over a business lunch and a community meeting quickly revealed Barack's deep-seated passion for service. Before she met him, Michelle confided in her mother that she intended to focus entirely on her career. Romance was not on the agenda, but their first date to see Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing would fundamentally alter her life's course. Barack later characterized their early bond as a textbook case of opposites attracting. She came from a close, stable household, while he possessed an adventurous spirit shaped by a childhood that crossed multiple states and countries. They married on October 3, 1992, embarking on a partnership that would carry them from Chicago's South Side to the world stage. However, their shared journey was not without its own significant challenges. After suffering a miscarriage, Michelle underwent in vitro fertilization to conceive their daughters. Malia arrived in 1998, and Sasha followed in 2001. Motherhood quickly became the central anchor of her life. When Barack was elected president in 2008, Michelle's foremost mission became protecting her daughter's sense of normalcy. Malia and Sasha attended Sidwell Friends School, a private Quaker institution known for its academic excellence and its discretion. In a decision that drew national interest, Michelle's mother, Marion Robinson, relocated to the White House to help care for the girls. This multi-generational household, highly unusual for a presidency, strongly reflected Michelle's values, bringing routine and warmth to the White House. This brought crucial stability to a place defined by constant and immense pressure. Through the demands of public life and the global spotlight, Michelle has often said the small, everyday moments were what sustained her the most. These included cherished family dinners, dependable bedtime routines, and quiet, uninterrupted time with her daughters. Even after leaving the White House, that powerful foundation remains at the very core of her identity. Thank you for joining us to explore Michelle Obama's world, her homes, her personal history, her voice, and the legacy she continues to build. If you enjoyed this in-depth look into the life behind the public persona, please be sure to like, subscribe, and stay connected with us. We will see you on our next journey into the lives of the truly extraordinary, a place defined by constant and immense pressure. Through the demands of public life and the unceasing global spotlight, Michelle has often stated that what sustained her most were the small, everyday moments, the family dinners, bedtime routines, and quiet quality time. With her daughters, long after departing the White House, that solid foundation remains at the very heart of her identity.